Welcome back to the show. Today we got a real treat for you. A few weeks ago we had Joe B on. We all love him here at Talk Show, and he was talking about one of his student teachers. And look who's sitting next to me, Joe B's student teacher, Miss Gina Mezzini.
Hi, thank you so much, RJ, for
Glad
having me
you're
on.
here. This is awesome.
So fun.
All right, so talk to me about high school. Where'd you go?
So I went to Milford High School.
Dumb question.
I graduated in 2003, so this December that will be almost 10 years ago.
So did you graduate with Kaz?
Who's Kaz?
Chris Kaz down the hallway from you?
No, I'm not sure. He doesn't ring a bell, but
Chris
maybe. I didn't know
Kazmaier?
everybody.
I think he was from across 2003.
If he graduated in 03, but I might not have known him.
I
But
think he did. Might be wrong, but although he's down the hall from you, how do you not know him?
I don't know. I don't.
He's English,
I
so
don't,
maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
maybe that's it.
So what kind of student were you in high school?
I think I kind of went up and down. I had a couple of years. I think sophomore year, I was on the student council as a representative. I made a couple. I never was on the honor society, but I made honor roll a few times, a few semesters. But I was never a great math student. That kept me off the honor
Joe B's not good at math either.
roll many times. I'm awful at math. It's really sad. Still to this day, it just scares me so much. I'm just really, really horrible at it.
Luckily, I have no math questions for you in 5 questions later on.
Thank God.
You're gonna get away easy this time.
I always
I'll
enjoyed.
get you next time.
Yeah, I enjoyed English. I enjoyed history. Here and there. I liked art. I loved
You loved
art. Yep. And foreign language, I had Miss Bertonazzi. For Italian, I went to Italy in 2003 with the Italian class. That was awesome, so much fun. I liked, mostly of the electives in English and some history.
So the only thing that you really had a problem with was math.
And science.
And science. I hate science and math.
I had Miss Roycroft for science one year. And
I thought she was nice.
I think she taught me very well.
I think
I
out
did
of all
well
the
in her
science
class.
teachers I've had, up and throughout my career at Milford High, having her for biology, I've probably learned the most from.
Yes,
I think.
she's a very good
She's
teacher.
really, really awesome.
Yes, she was fairly new when I was there. I
What?
think. I'm pretty sure. I
thought my aunt. She's in my aunt's yearbook, and she graduated in '93.
I could be wrong, but I feel like she was
She and Mr. Campbell
fairly
have been
new.
there, the same length of time.
How
I
many
think.
years?
20.
Really? Maybe I just didn't know.
Think so.
So yeah, I was okay. I wasn't on the high honors. I wasn't on National Honor Society. But I always went to school. I got my work done. I was never a bad kid. I didn't skip classes or anything like that. But I wasn't either the best either. I would say I was an average student.
Cool. Were you popular?
Yeah, I think so. I had a lot of friends. High school is tricky because sometimes some years you go in and you have a bunch of friends, and then the next year kind of you lose some of those friends, and then you gain friends.
Oh, the drama factor of high school.
Yeah, it goes up and down. I think senior year I kind of lost touch with a lot of people, and then you have like your relationships with your boyfriend and your girlfriend, and then if you break up with your boyfriend, you lose all those. You gain a bunch of friends who are friends with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and then when you break up, it's like who takes sides, and you lose friends. And I went through all that, and I always
sucks.
Yeah, I tell the kids all the time, like, just stay single. You don't need the drama. Like, if I could go back in time, I would just have a ton of girlfriends, just have a great time, and go shopping, and you always look back in retrospect, and you think, I want to do this over again. I would have had so much fun, but I was medium.
Who's your favorite teacher?
I have to say Miss Bertonazzi.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
One more person might be watching you on here, so you might want to butter them up.
I didn't have Mr. Mercado.
You didn't?
No, I had Dr. Andriola. He got his PhD towards the end of his career at Milford High School. He's retired now. I had him for all of my history courses. I never had Mr. Mercado.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I never even talked to him when I went to high school. Like I don't even know if he would have known me in high school. We got to know each other after high school.
How?
when I was in graduate school.
How did you get in contact with him? 'Cause this is shocking to me, because I thought you had
Nope, I did
him
not
as
have
a student
him.
once.
Nope.
And now finding this out, I'm just shocked.
Nope. My graduate studies is in my master's in education with initial licensing in history. So I had to do a couple interviews, and one of them was to interview the head of a social studies department. So I emailed him at Milford High School and asked him if he would do an interview, and that's how kind of I got in contact with him first. He'd be like, "Oh, I'd happy to," and and he also said, "If you have any other questions, let me know." So when I had questions on a project I was doing or a paper I was doing in history or in regard to teaching history, methods of teaching history, like I think one paper was what methods do teachers use today to teach history? Mm-hmm. So he helped me out with that, and he told me about the packet work that you guys do, the drawings. He tries to incorporate multiple intelligences and stuff like that, and I really liked what he had to say and his methods of teaching. So from there, when I had to do my practicum, which is my student teaching, I went to him personally and asked if he would be my mentor, my student teacher, for student teaching, and he said yes. And I'm the first student teacher he's ever had.
I know that he's been there, 35 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he's never had one before.
Well, the thing is, people come and say, I need to do student teaching in the social studies department, and he puts them with who he thinks they would fit best with. He said to me, would you like me to find somebody that, might want to take you under their wing? And I said, I really want to work with you.
Wow.
And he was like, okay, we'll give it a try, sure. And I said it was really important for me. I really wanted to. So he said yes, and it's been working out. It's been awesome.
Cool. Let's back up a little bit. College. Mm-hmm. Where'd you go?
Framingham State.
Everyone goes to Framingham State from Milford High. Like the majority of people go to Framingham State. It's really odd how everyone just winds up going there.
Framingham State University now. One of my sisters went to Framingham State. My father went to Framingham State. So it was one of my number one choices. I applied a couple other places. I applied at Salem State and University of New Hampshire and UVM, but I'm kind of a homebody, so I ended up not wanting to go away from home. So I commuted to Framingham for undergrad, which I got my degree in sociology and history.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you decide you wanted to be a teacher? Because you've been out of high school for maybe 10 years now or so. Mm-hmm. Most people who are going to be teachers would have probably gotten jobs by then, but you're still in the process of getting a master's degree. Mm-hmm. Why did it take so long?
Well, okay, so I feel like it's a lot of pressure for someone who's graduating high school, 17 or 18 years old, to know what you want to do as a career for the rest of your life. Some people have an idea, like you, right from the beginning, I want to be on TV, right. I want to be an anchor, or I want to be a late night show host, and that's it. And that's great. I thought I wanted to work with children. My job in high school, after school, was at a private daycare. I worked.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I would go every day after school, and I'd work 3 to 6, help out with the kids, and I loved it. I loved the little kids. I worked with infants to 3 years old. So I thought that I wanted to go into early childhood. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. My degree in sociology, you can work in childcare. I didn't know. I thought I kind of entertained the idea of social services for children.
Really?
DSS. Yeah, I just kind of was all over the board in college. My father told me to get my degree in education, and I didn't listen. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe. I think I want to work at a daycare. I think I want to be a social service worker. I think, back and forth. And he was like, just get an education. I didn't listen. So most kids don't listen to their dad. So when I got out of college, it was 2008, and my first job was subbing at Milford High School, and really, so I was subbing at Milford High School, and I loved it. I loved being there. I loved the kids. I loved working with the teachers and the staff, and it was a great atmosphere. So I wanted to get into that. So then I went went into grad school.
That's sweet. My cousin Alana, she's been in college for 3 years now. And for 3 years, she's gone to 3 different schools and majored in 3 different things. Elementary education, fashion, and communications.
Yeah.
And she just cannot make up her mind.
It's common.
Like you have like somewhat idea. I want to work with children. She's across the board and no idea.
I have so many
what
friends
she
like
wants
that.
to do.
But I jumped from small children to high school.
I don't know how that jump happened.
I took in the end of my college career at Framingham State. I took my history courses, and I had the best teacher ever, and I fell in love with history.
Wow.
And that's what I was like. I got my minor really fast, and I was like, "Can I change my major to history?" And they were like, "It's too late. You're gonna be here another 5 years if you do that." So that's kind of where the love of history came, and then when in subbing, loving the teaching aspect. So that's how I ended up in the master's degree with the history and the teaching.
Cool. So let's talk about your master's degree now. What is the paper that you're working on right now for your master's degree?
So I have to do an inquiry-based report. This is kind of my final report.
Simplify it for me. I don't know what that means.
So it's basically you come up with a question that you don't have the answer to.
Okay.
Collect data, and you find the answer. Sometimes you don't get a straight answer, sometimes you do. So everyone in my class had a different question, and mine was, how do students prepare for test best, or what way of studying prepares students for exams best?
Okay.
So what we did was a game. We played bingo.
That was a fun day
when
in
we
class.
studied for the Great Depression. We did a bingo game. There was 25 spots on the Great Depression. I would say the question, then we'd answer it, and you'd cover your spot and so on, and there was rewards, candy, and so forth.
Yeah, that was fun. I think I won twice in that.
Yes, I think
really
everyone
fun.
got
That's really
candy.
cool.
It was like really fun. People were engaged.
There was a lot of food going on in that class between you bringing the Hershey Kisses and the chocolate bunnies.
Yeah.
To
I
Mr.
love-
Kelly's big king-size
Yes.
candies.
You
Oh
guys
my
are all
God.
gonna,
They're
fatten up.
always bouncing off the walls in that class.
Yeah.
No wonder why.
Yeah, I think your class is really good though.
Our class is fun. We have fun.
I
there. We love it.
I really like your class a lot. So what I did was I took the test, the test that we did, that we studied for with the bingo was on the Great Depression.
Right.
So then I took all of your averages, and it averaged out to an 85. That was the class average on that test.
Pretty good.
That is pretty good. The next test was on the New Deal.
I remember that one.
And we did a review, like an oral review, a chalk and talk kind of review, where the teacher kind of lectures the review to you and gave you a study guide.
And you did all this too. No help from Joby. You did all this, which is really impressive.
Class average on that one was, okay, so I don't have a class average for that yet because I'm still waiting for Umberto. If you're watching this, you need to take that test.
Oh my God, Umberto!
I'm still waiting for you to take
Seriously.
it. He keeps pushing it off and pushing
He's
it
so
off.
slick, that kid. Oh my God.
So I don't have the class average for that one yet. I had.
Lots of A's or lots of B's?
It was in the 80s so far. So far it's in the 80s. It's pretty. I think it's like an 84 point something.
Hopefully Umberto doesn't throw off the curve.
Yeah, waiting for Umberto to take that test. When he does, I'll get the answer to that. And the last one was on totalitarian dictatorships, and that one was you're on your own. Study yourself. I think I gave you like a little study guide.
You gave us like a full detailed study guide with definitions of terms and stuff. Very, very helpful, I thought.
Very helpful, but no lecturing to you. So it was kind of like you're on your own, and if you can use the study guide, study it yourself, and that's it. Not a lot of talk about it. So I was calling that studying on your own.
Right.
So my three techniques of studying was through a game, through a lecture and a study guide, and through studying on your own.
Right.
And
How'd
that
studying on
one,
your own go?
89.
Really?
The class average was an 89.
On studying on your own?
But here's the tricky piece to it.
Well, I think I know what you're going to say. Lots of these kids had this unit in world history too. With Hitler and Benito Mussolini. I remember Mr. Molinari spending a great deal of time talking about them.
But I didn't even factor in that, but that's something else. I should write that down. Remind me to write that down. But another factor, another factor could be
Did you lose it on me?
was the test test? Were the tests easier? Was the New Deal test easier than the Great Depression test? Was the totalitarian government test easier?
Now, how do you find that out, whether something's easier or not?
There's really no, or it could have been, was the subject matter easier, or was the subject matter more interesting? The Great Depression, to me, might be more interesting than totalitarian dictatorships to somebody else, and they just do better. So there's a lot of factors, and as part of my report, I have to write that in. Here's the results, but they're not finite because there could be other details that we're not factoring in. So when I write up my report, I have to say that.
Okay.
You know, maybe the kids were more engaged with this subject, so they did better. Maybe this test was written easier. Maybe this test was shorter. That kind of stuff. So,
right.
Because Joe B actually puts the test together.
Right. You don't do those tests.
Right. So you know, that's something else to look at. But that is what that was on, the inquiry report.
Right. Now, last year of college, lucky you. Where do you want to go from college?
From my master's degree?
Yeah. What do you want to do next year?
I want to be a teacher.
Where?
Well, am I allowed to say that I just put my resume in at Milford High School?
Why not? I don't see why not.
I'll put my resume out. I gave a resume to Milford High School because there's a few openings and a job posting went up. So I gave my resume there, fingers crossed, because that's my #1 choice, because I love it there and I love the students and I feel really comfortable. But you never know. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, as my mother says. So I'll look around. I'll look at some charter schools around the area.
Charter?
Yeah.
Means what?
You never know. They're just they're just different schools around. There's a charter school in Marlboro. Sometimes they have longer days. They go to school like 8 to 5.
Ew.
They do more focused.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, they do.
Ew.
I think I'm not really sure how charter schools work. I've never worked in one. I've never went to one. But I just know that there's some around the area.
You know, if my mother and my parents fell into a grave deal of money and they said, you can continue going to Milford High School, or you go to the Marlboro Charter School, which, by the way, going to be there 3 hours longer every day. I'm going to say, let's see, do I want to spend more time in school, or do I want to spend more time here in the studio?
You want to spend more time in the studio.
Yeah, why would you want to work a longer day? I don't get that.
No.
Hey, as long as you love what you do, maybe you can handle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
That
there's pros and cons to both kinds of schools, and then private schools too. Maybe Hopedale High. I'd like to stay, in the area, but whatever you have to do, you have to do.
Right. Let's hope you get at Milford High, because you live like 2 minutes away.
I do. Yeah.
It's really, really lucky.
I live super close.
You live super close.
Yep.
That would be a perfect gig for you.
It would be.
I think with Joe B on your back and
Yeah.
Miss Hennessy carrying you along the way
Yep.
with letter recommendations and
Yep.
everything.
Hopefully.
They got some weight in that school. They got heavy time in that
I know.
prison. So
Yep.
they
See.
might give you the helping hand that you need.
Yep. We'll
Now
see.
I told you about this. 5
Okay,
questions.
I'm so
time.
nervous.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, chill out. It's time for 5 questions.
Okay.
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 All right. We always start out with geography. What's the capital of Wyoming? This is really hard.
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne? What, do you live in Wyoming or something?
I'm supposed to know this stuff.
Your history teacher, right? You are supposed to know this stuff. Okay, who once famously said, let them eat cake?
Oh, Marie Antoinette.
Yeah!
We studied that in the French Revolution.
Did you ever study that in class?
We studied that in class. Oh, no,
my
I'm
class.
sorry, not your class, in another class.
Not freshman.
In the
How
freshman
dare
class.
you.
Sorry.
How dare you. Okay. If you could do a year abroad anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Oh, no. Okay, so I want to say Italy because that's my gut reaction, but I've been there, so maybe I should pick
There's no
somewhere.
wrong answer to this.
All right, well, I'll say Italy, but I've actually been to Italy, like I said, with Miss Pertinazzi, so maybe it should be somewhere different. I really want to go to Ireland.
Maybe Ireland would work. That would work.
But
Okay.
do they even do? I don't even know.
Who
Isn't there just sheep and rolling pastures? I don't know.
I'll talk to you guys now, so they'll figure it out. Okay, Joe B loves to go into stories all the time about his life, about funny things in history.
Yeah.
Tell me your favorite Joe B story right now.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think.
He has so many of them.
What's your favorite?
What's my favorites?
Mhm.
I don't know. Oh, it's so hard.
It is hard.
Pressure. He has so many.
I just turned it on you. I can't think of.
There's a lot. Just tell me the one story off the top of your head.
Does it have to be a story? It can be like an antic.
It's an antic, a story that you just told once in class.
This isn't necessarily a story, but I'll say something funny that he does in class.
Do it.
So, when someone has their head down or looks like they're sleeping, I die when he's like, I'll use you. RJ, are you sleeping in my class? You have hurt me. I am wounded. People line up to take Joe B's class, and you're sleeping, and there's somebody out there who didn't get into this class, who was dying to take your place. I am hurt that you are sleeping in my class. Am I boring you? Right?
I like that one.
And
That's
I just
good.
laugh I just laugh because it's so funny.
That's good. Yeah, I love how he talks about himself in the first person. Joe
Yeah,
B this,
yeah,
Joe B that.
yeah.
I love it.
So funny.
Okay. We're in the 21st century. We all have iPods now. Tell me 3 of your favorite songs that are on your iPod right now.
Ah. Okay.
It's easy.
All right.
What are you listening to right now?
Okay, well, when I go to the gym, I listen to more upbeat kind of hip-hoppy stuff, but I don't listen to that in any other time. So I'm going to say
You just need 3.
for right now, I'll say that I've been listening to a lot of Nicki Minaj when I've been working out.
Okay.
So I'll go with the song Va Va Voom by Nicki
Va Va
Minaj,
Boom Boom.
1. But that's just when I work out. So another one would have to, I listen to a lot of classic rock.
Really? Are you trying to butter Joe B now, or is that true?
No, that's true. He knows
Wow.
it. So I'll go with Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce because...
I don't know what that is. Oh, is that like Message in a Box?
No,
that's not that
it's
one.
Time in a Bottle. Go Google it after this.
Will do.
Because I'm getting married in November. You know that. So
Now I do.
that is going to be my wedding song. So I've been listening to that over and over again to make sure that's the right choice. And
Don't want to kill the song. You don't want to
I know.
kill the golden goose.
And I know. You're right. And I can't think of another one. Maybe like something by Pearl Jam. Yellow Ledbetter we'll go with.
I was trying to think of this in class. I got Mirrors by Justin Timberlake. I got Light 'Em Up by Fall Out Boy, and I got Carry On by Fun.
Oh, I like that song, Carry
Like that
On.
one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
I like all kinds of music, except for country.
Give it there.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Can we edit that?
No, I'm going to keep that in. I thought that was funny. Good job. You got 5 out of 5. First time around.
Awesome.
That was fantastic. That wasn't that bad, was it?
No, I was nervous. When
I told you knew that
It's hard
stuff.
to think on the spot.
I told you would know that stuff.
I guess. Yeah.
I didn't want to set you up to fail. God forbid I set you up to fail.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you for having me. You're so cute with your little suit.
Oh my God! Don't make me rosy on air, Ms.
Oh my
Mezzini.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
it.
Thank
You do a great job.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
Thanks so much for coming on. You were a great guest.
Thank you.
You had a lot of good things to say. You were very funny in the 5 questions, by the way.
Thank you.
Humberto, are you sleeping in my... that was very funny. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you Monday after vacation.
I will see you on Monday.
Okay, we'll be right back after this short break.